We're going to talk about chapter 2.3 in the book, and that focuses on other set operations and their properties. We'll be looking at section A and number 16. So the question given to us is that, given that the universe is the set of all humans, set B equals X, given X is a college basketball player. So therefore, I drew a Venn diagram to represent the section of B. And then for set S equals X given X is a college student more than 200 centimeters tall. And therefore, I drew another circle for the set for S. And then the intertwine between both of them. And then I drew the outside part, which means that they're in neither category of a basketball player in college, nor a college student who is over 200 centimeters tall. And this will help provide us our answers for the following to describe in words of what exactly they're asking for each letter A through F. So for letter A, they put B and S. So therefore, that would be described in words a college basketball player and someone who is in college who is over 200 centimeters tall. So if I look at the Venn diagram, I can see that the middle section is a combination of between both the basketball player and the college student who is over 200 centimeters tall. And if we were asked to be shaded, we'd shade the middle part of the Venn diagram. So for B, they said what is not an S. So the line above describes what is not an S. So what I'd like to do, I like to cover up the whole circle for the Venn diagram in S, and then you can see it's the whole B section that does not include the B in the S combination of both, but just the B section of just basketball players. So therefore, those are basketball players who are under 200 centimeters tall. And also I'd include the outside part, because if you cover it, that still includes those who are not even a basketball player and are still under 200 centimeters tall as well. So that's why when we look at B, that's what we describe or shade into. For C, it describes B or S. So that, in other words, would be basketball players in college and also those who are 200 centimeters tall. So it'd be a combination of both shaded of the whole Venn diagram and exclude the outer parts, because this means or it can be single of there's just a basketball player, or single of a person who is over 200 centimeters tall, or just both. So that's what the or represents in that section. And for D, it's asking the opposite, which does not include that. So what I like to do again is just cover that whole section, and we're left with the whole outer part, which means those who are under 200 centimeters tall and not basketball players in college, which would represent neither a basketball player nor a person who's over 200 centimeters tall. For E, it asks not a basketball player and is a person who is 200 centimeters tall. So we'd cover the whole B section. But since it has and, it does not include the outer parts. It's talking about the whole combination, and it'd only be talking about just single the S section, which the S set includes those who are college students who are over 200 centimeters tall. So that would be the only answer for that. And for F, we'd see that it's asking the opposite of that, which is B and not in S. So for the set of S would be gone once again. And we just look at the B section alone. And that's what we'd put as our answers, and it'd be just basketball players who are in college, but who don't correspond with the 200 centimeters tall. And that would be our set. Another way we can do this is actually writing it out. So if we, for example, we can write for set B, N and S, we can create our own set by having numbers that go with both sets. But we'd first start with a set on top of what is exactly in those sets. So we can have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, like how we have on the bottom. And then for S, we can just have the same ones because corresponding together. And this is just an example. And they, for S, might have 2 more extra. And so that can show us a written version instead of what I'd like to usually use is a visual aspect. So that would be looking back, and that would help us find our answers for what we're looking for visually, but we always like to write it written so then we can correlate them together.
Yeah.